being shot by her own firearm. The messages of this novel at 2A, well, there's a whole bunch of them, right? You never know, really, who and what you are until you've been really challenged, put through the pain and the challenge and the suffering that is involved, obviously, in all of the events of the novel, right? Or how about this one for a message? Love is a powerful force. I said this is one of the great love novels of all time, and I think that when I say that, what I mean is not just the love between Charles and Sidney towards Lucy. No question that's there. But the love of an ideal and the love of friendship. I think this is a powerful example. At 3A, and how we're going to compare this to other texts we've studied, well, obviously all the other Dickens novels we've referenced already. Tolstoy's War and Peace comes to mind, as well as his death of Ivan Ilyich for different kinds of reasons. Death of Ilyich, notice Ilyich, like Sidney, has to kind of come to some understandings of who he is, and that only happens at the end, not at the beginning. I want you to think, and this may seem like a strange reference at first, but I want you to go back to our study of Virgil's Aeneid, especially to that in Book 2, that fall of Troy. Remember how Aeneas describes how insane it was, the chaos, and then go and look at some of these scenes from this novel as the storming of the Bastille happens, and the ways in which terrible, terrible things happen and are done because of the mindless hysteria of the mob, right? Finally, of course, no question, we have the idea of the symbolism of the novel and the irony of the novel. Let's just jump back up to 2B for a second. The powerful symbol in the novel, the spilt wine that looks like blood. Of course, the ways in which, ironically, the very people who live in these neighborhoods destroy their own neighborhoods. It will happen in the 20th century. Several times when we have mass hysteria, kind of rioting happen for any number of reasons in American cities. And what happens? People start destroying the very neighborhoods where they live, the very neighborhoods where they work. Insane. And yet this novel says you can explain that. Back to 3A, one of the political readings of this novel is to pick up your Marx, pick up your Hegel, of course Plato's Republic, as we've talked about those theorists, and the notion that there's got to be some understanding of politically how we all live together and get along, so that we don't have that mutually assured destruction and the MAD syndrome, as is often referred to in the 20th century. Finally, at 3B, how are you going to relate to a text like this? There's the biblical verse, "Greater love hath no man than this, that he laid down his life for his brother." And certainly we see this enacted with Sidney towards Charles. The power of sacrifice. Have you witnessed it in your own life? Both as somebody has sacrificed for you. Think about the people who have raised you and the sacrifices they made. No, it wasn't always roses, raising you. Trust me, it was challenging. It was a sacrifice. The way you've sacrificed maybe for others. And then, of course, the power of love. I mean, go back to our comments on Shakespeare's Sonnet 116. "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests," think about this novel, "and is never shaken. It's the star to every wandering bar, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken." I mean, think about the end of this novel, and it's a far, far better thing, that notion of it being better. Well, I leave the novel to you, and I hope that you will enjoy not only the study of this Dickens novel, but go on and read all the rest of them. They're so amazing. What a remarkable writer. Thank you for your time.